You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. As long as you have health and strength, reaching your goal, nothing should prevent. Every time you fall, get up again. Don't sit down there like that and complain. You got to stand up and continue fighting. Don't give up, keep courage, you must win. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud there's a silver lining, so don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Obstacles will get in the way, stumbling blocks to hinder your day, but you can't afford to let them stop you. No matter how hard it is to go through, you got to stand up and continue fighting. Endurance shall win in the ending. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud there's a silver lining, so don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Strong positive mind, negative thoughts, leave them behind. We got to go forward in sure certainty. Let no element humbug that possibility. But if you give up, you have no way of knowing if next day would have brought good tidings. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud there's a silver lining, so don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Behind every dark cloud there's a silver lining, so don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. We gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. We know it's a long and winding road, and we got a heavy load, but we have to hold it straight. Get up and try again, because behind every dark cloud there's a silver lining.
Of thine eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wing, O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It really have, brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. People see you smile, but don't hold the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover my mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
You are a star of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a star of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a star of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a star of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with yours truly, Professor Warshid and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Yes, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Let me bring in my co-host before we start our oath to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the one and only, the man himself. When we have our program in the village, some people say he's a country bookie. I don't know what is a country bookie, but I can surmise and generalize and criticize what I believe is a country bookie. But let me welcome the man himself, the one and only Uncle Tommy. Tommy, welcome.
Thank you for having me, and good afternoon to you and to the family. You can you politicize?
And I could try and do that too, Tommy. I
Okay,
could try and do that, politicize. You
then
know?
I would not criticize.
Okay, we can try to make a lot of sizes. We could also try and a size as well too.
That's correct. So, how are you doing today?
Today's a splentabulous day. First of all, Tommy, I want to wish all the mothers, and I don't want to hear about no fathers who is mothers. I ain't hearing that today.
Right. I would do the same. I would follow you in that respect. Wishing all the mothers a very special, happy Mother's Day, because I know mother is a very special person. I want to wish my mother, my 92-year-old mother, a special happy Mother's Day also, because she is a tower of power and endurance.
Correct is right, and I want to wish her a happy Mother's Day as well. And for all the other people who want to say, well, a man is a mother. No, 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 no. All you get it, don't get it twisted. Right? Right? Don't mesmerize the thing. You understand?
Well, in the United States, you know, when they call a man a mother, what they say after. So I'm not going to say that.
I stay know that I want to me. I stay in clear that one.
Yeah,
Not
me too, because I know we can think about what the Americans say when they call a man a mother. It's not a nice thing, but like you said, let's stay clear of that.
yeah, I stay in clear. But Tommy, let's go to our oath/pledge, the only program on the planet. Yeah, only program on the planet with our oath/pledge to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the diaspora, and by extension, the world. Take a listen.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And Tommy, we do
It is.
mean that. There it is. There it is.
Yep.
And we do mean that 100%. And you know why, Tommy? Because since we have had this program, knock on wood, we have never got a note from the FCC, which is TAT in Trinidad and Tobago. You know where I'm going,
Yes, sir.
right? We have never gotten a note or being reprimanded by
Or
F.
even a threat of suit.
Correct. No pre-action protocol letters, nothing like that from the organization in this country that looks at broadcasters. And for all those who don't know, we here at WZYE 95.9 FM is one of the few radio station on air that's owned by a person from the Caribbean or owned by an organization that is run by an individual from the Caribbean as well as other people too as well. And we are a fully licensed radio station. We're not underground radio station. We don't have to hide and duck and weave in case the FCC comes in. We are fully licensed. So we believe in that oath slash pledge. We absolutely believe in that. And we don't accept no type of disrespect here that can put this radio station in a disrepute, like happened with another radio station in Trinidad and Tobago, where I have to say this, Tommy, and I'm going to say this plain straight. The management of that radio station need to take full responsibility
I,
for what
I,
happened.
I've said it time and again. I don't know if you remember me saying
Oh yeah, I remember.
time and again that the management has to become responsible.
Yes. And you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And the management can't pass the blame on no one. No one. Because, Tommy, if you allow me to push the envelope, Tommy, if you allow me to hang over the cliff and not jump over, you go see how far you can hang without you falling over. And that's
Correct.
what I believe kept on happening and happening and happening. And not only that, Tommy, but the kind of language. I mean, I also was one of those who have been totally, I mean, a basement type of language, a gutter type of language, Tommy. And I say,
It was
man,
appalling. It was appalling the way they behaved.
and they got away with it for a long time. But, you know, sometimes you may think you have gotten away. No, it's not
Every day the bucket goes into the well. One day the bottom will certainly drop out.
correct is right. Correct is right. Every day the bottom bucket goes into the well. Yeah? And they keep going to the well and going to the well and allowing these things to happen. I am saying they allowed it to happen. And I mean, whatever the consequences are, they have to deal with it. They have to deal with it. And Tommy, we have tried and we have been raising the bar with respect to radio in Trinidad and Tobago. We have been raising the bar.
Especially on
Right?
that particular station in question.
Yeah. And not only that, and we believe this program added something to that radio station. And I
Tremendous
guess
value.
when you're
Tremendous
trying to,
value.
correct is right. When you're trying to raise the bar, some people don't really want you to raise the bar, you know. Some
Yeah,
people want you to do limbo. They want you
yeah,
to go as low as possible.
they love the gutter.
Yeah, they love the gutter. They love the gutter because they feel that the gutter is where they need to go. And we believe that you can run a commendable program without having to go in the gutter and by any means necessary. Imagine that, Tommy. We have also had another radio host from that radio station who was taken off the air. You know? And this is not the first time somebody was taken off. Well, I guess she's still on the air until to be continued. To be continued. And the last thing that I personally want, Tommy, is for them to take food off of any individual table. But you have to be responsible for your actions, and there are consequences for your actions. And you know, she had to suffer the consequences for her actions.
But
And it's
like
that simple.
I always say, there's management in every situation, and management needs to hone in the horse when it's getting out of control.
And Tommy, do you think this will have an impact on anything at the radio station?
I believe so.
You think so?
I believe so. I believe that if they are worth their their weight in whatever goal or whatever, they're gonna show firmness.
Tommy, you think if I call that individual, she might pick up the phone, or she might cuss me?
Yeah,
Tell me what to do.
whatever your heart tells you. If
Nah,
you have,
nah, nah, nah. You tell me. You tell me what. You tell me what you want me to do.
I wouldn't call her.
Okay, talk done. Talk done. Talk done. That is it. No more. Talk done. Let me go to the chat. Bizram says, "What about Iowa?"
Yeah, I would talk to her.
Let me call Iowa and see if we go pick up the phone. Let me call Iowa George. So, folks, we're gonna call Iowa George, and we want to hear
His take on
his take.
Pat's decision.
Yes, yes. Okay, hold on. There we go. Iowa George. Hold on. I'm gonna look for him in here. So, folks, we're calling Iowa George. We have a call coming in at the same time. Hello, Iowa George. Hello, hello, hello. All right. The call pickup, but it didn't go through. I'm gonna try it. Tell me pick up, but it didn't go through. Let me see. I'm gonna try again. All right, no answer. Okay. So, folks, we try to call the owner of
1.9 FM in
1.9.
Trinidad.
Yeah, and I he pick up first, but then the next time he didn't pick up. We go try
So,
him again. I don't know he does do it.
and whoever was trying to call in here, they can try again.
Yeah, they can call back. Yeah. Um, Bizram was first today. Bizram said, "Good day, Uncle Tommy on Wall Street. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Today menu is curry duck, curry chicken with dal puri, washed down with morbi." All right. Okay. Caribbean Soul says, "Good afternoon, WZYE TV and listeners. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Caribbean Soul say he's celebrating his birthday this coming Tuesday. Happy 25th, Caribbean Soul.
It's Tuesday.
Is it really true Juju really gets suspended Wall Street? Um, there's a possibility, put it that way. Curtis Lampkin. Curtis, where you joining us from? Lampkin, Lampkin is a popular name, right?
Yeah, that's the Lamos name. That's Dario's name. Dario.
Hi, Dario.
No, but that's Dario's surname.
Yeah, I know that's his surname, but I wonder because I think Dario about 4 or 5 names.
Oh yeah, I don't know him
Yeah,
as
yeah,
Curtis.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know him
yeah,
as
yeah.
Dario.
Well,
But that's
I know him as Dario too, but you have a
but,
first
but
name
you
as
know you know Dario is the Lamos, the Calypsonian son.
Yeah, I know that. But you have a first name, second name, third name, fourth name, and last name.
All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So Curtis, tell us if you're related to Dario or if you are Dario. Caribbean say Wall Street. I saw an article where police uniform is missing from lockers. Okay. So what else is new? And folks, at approximately 3 p.m., the assemblyman from Tobago and the Tobago House of Assembly, Trevor James, confirmed with us that he will join us at 3 p.m. today. All right. He has confirmed that. So we expect him to be here at 3 p.m. Yeah. Or right, Curtis Lampkin from Maryland. Hey,
Okay.
Curtis, you related to Dario? You related to Dilamo? Dilamo is Lampkin, right?
Yep.
Yeah, related to Dilamo. Yeah. And Curtis, how did you find us? It's kind of important for us to know. And I want to say welcome to Curtis. How did you
Welcome,
find us?
welcome, welcome, welcome to WZYE.
Right. And let me say again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all the mothers, whether hardworking mothers who toil in the vineyard for their kids on a daily basis. We say a pleasant, happy Mother's Day to you. And we know um, all the hard work you put in. But Tommy, why do we have Mother's Day? Even every day supposed to be Mother's Day?
Well, every day is Thursday, but today is the day where we just take it up a step, a notch.
Nah, that to me is just a commercial thing, Tommy.
I agree. I agree.
To sell flowers and cards and things. And Tommy, the funny thing is that even though you may think so, you still have to go and get your flowers and your card.
It's all good.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be in the doghouse. You understand? Yeah. Could you say you related to the Lamo? So anytime you hear Lambkin, is our family, right? And I just like to talk with Dario. Dario, I love to talk with Dario. Caribbean Soul say Wall Street Mother's Day is like a year on year where you celebrate a full year of your mother's hard work and life. Caribbean Soul, in my estimation, you're supposed to celebrate your mother every day. That's what I think. You know what that's like, Tommy? Like Valentine's. All of a sudden, happy Valentine's. But Tommy, I had a I want to get into the chat because I want to address we have kind of three burning issues. We have the issue with Julia Davy and the position that she have put 91.9 in because they're in a very delicate position. We have the Auditor General. I think we have exhausted that there, and they're not going to hold anyone accountable for whatever happened in that. And then we have an issue, Tommy, with CCTV in Trinidad and Tobago now. Yeah? KFC, welcome.
Good afternoon, Professor Wall Street. Good afternoon. Uncle Tommy,
Yeah,
happy
man.
Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world, the right thinking mothers who take care of their loved one.
Yeah, man.
Well, shoot, I see you said something there. I see you're not going to this, so I look to and listening. That's love and respect. Call enjoy holiday, man.
Yeah, man. Bless.
I inside.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bless.
Thank you.
Yeah, bless. Bless. That is it. Right? And yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, you were talking about the third issue, which is
The third issue.
CCTV.
Right. The third issue is CCTV in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me say welcome to Michael Mirage. Where
Welcome.
them fellas and them put up their own CCTV and them monitoring police departments and police station and all kind of thing. You hear about that?
That's a big one.
We go play that for you. Yeah, Caribbean Soul says UNC internal election is officially announced June 15th. You know what? Let me try something. Let me try to see if I could get. Let me try this person. I ain't gonna call him name. Let me try to see if he gonna answer the phone. I'm gonna try something first. You know, Tommy, we always have to try something in here, right? All right, let's take this voice note. Hold on.
Call Wall Street, call. They just take up the phone and call people. Call the journalists. Call. They have to take up the phone and answer with respect to this is a professional program to do an interview. And
Tommy, your partner. Tommy, that's your partner. That's your partner, you know. That's your real partner.
That's Kunji.
Kunji is your partner. That's your partner.
No worries.
Let me try to call this person here. Hold on. We want to ask about the camera issue. I want to call this person here. Let me see if this person will pick up the phone. And there was a press conference today, right, with Saddam Hussein. I want to play some things from that press conference. All right, let me try this other person. Let's see. Okay, I think this is him here. I could try this one here. Yeah, no, I was never able to get that fella. You know. All right, no answer. Okay, I try them and pick up. We go try again later. So yes, Tommy. Let we go to the issue with which one you want to go to? Let me go to the one with the CCT. You want that one first, or the one with TAT?
Yeah. Okay, we could do that.
Let's do TAT. Listen to this, right, folks? We believe that. Tommy, do you recall previously TAT ever really disciplined any radio station in Trinidad?
I read something on that having
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. You know what we do? While we listen to this, we will do a search and see. I remember something with Patrick Manning going into Power 102, I think, back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I don't think there was anything to do with discipline back then, no. But anyway, what it is, folks, is that Julia Davy, who had no license for her mouth, none, zero. And you know what it is, Tommy? I asked myself, a certain RPNM radio host have any line that they wouldn't cross?
Hmm.
Tommy, do you have a line that you think you wouldn't cross? Do you have a line?
Absolutely.
And I have a line as well that I believe that I would not cross. And in my estimation, when you're in journalism or you are a journalist, you must have a line. And I don't think that young lady has any line at all. And when you are on a radio station, you're not just there for yourself. You are also there to protect the management and the license of the radio station. Right? So you have to be careful with your rare tricks that you are putting forward. You have to be careful. And if you are not careful, then all it's left is whatever the consequences of your actions are, you have to suffer it as well as the radio station. It's that simple. But let's take a listen to this.
RPNM radio host Juliet Davy faces potential suspension over Iowa's station breach. Regulatory authority TATT addresses alleged degrading statements against Judge. The Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, TATT, has found that radio station Trinibashment 91.9 FM, owned by soca artist Neil Iwer George, had acted in breach of its concession by allowing insightful and degrading statements to be made against a high court judge that had the potential of bringing the judiciary into disrepute. The contentious statements were made by 91.9 FM announcer Juliet Davy and some members of the public during a call-in program on the station on January 30th. At the receiving end of the criticism was Justice Frank Seepersad after he delivered a judgment in favor of Valsain businessman Inshan Ishmael in a claim for defamation he had brought against Calypsonian Crocrow, Weston Rawlins. Justice Seepersad had directed in January that Rawlins pay to Ishmael $250,000 in compensation for defamation of character, stemming from the lyrics in one of his compositions titled, "Another Sat is Outside Again." The song was performed during a competition in February 2023. In the song, Rawlins referred to Ishmael as a thief who was selling stolen car parts. The Express understands that so far, Ishmael has not received any payment from Rawlins, given that he has since filed an appeal against the judge's ruling. On Wednesday, TAT wrote to the station informing it of its breach. In the letter that was signed by TAT CEO Cynthia Reddick Downs, the station was informed that it had breached conditions D9A and D9C of its concession by allowing statements to be made about the judge and/or the judiciary. The letter did not indicate whether immediate action was being taken against the station, but stated that the breach and other breaches will be considered in the upcoming renewal of their concession. The Express attempted to contact George for comment yesterday, but calls to his cell phone, as well as WhatsApp messages, went unanswered. Following the statements on the program, sources said Justice Seepersad had also written to the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago, LATT, Chief Justice Ivor Archie, as well as the Office of the Attorney General, over his concerns. The judiciary responded to the judge, but indicated it did not see the need to issue any statement. There were no responses to the judge's letter from either LATT or the AG's office. The Express also attempted to contact LAT President Lynette Ciberon Sweet yesterday, but calls to her cell phone also went unanswered. hateful and racist attacks. Following the judgment, Justice Seepersad, according to sources in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, had written to Police Commissioner Erla Christopher regarding concerns over his safety. He pointed out that death threats were being made against him, presumably over his judgment in the Ishmael and Rawlins matter. That letter was issued to Christopher on February 1st. In it, Justice Seepersad said he was seeking the commissioner's urgent assistance following another of many threats to his life. The judge advised Christopher that he had to make a police report of an incident where a man of African descent threatened him, saying, "Dat is D stinks T judge, only pressing black people. I sorry I have to use my rounds or I woulda done ya today." Seepersad wrote that he has been the target of hate and racist attacks following the Ishmael judgment. The letter stated that he was ridiculed, called a racist. And on the program hosted by Davey, numerous callers expressed very strong and hateful views, primarily premised upon his ethnicity. He had further expressed concerns that his conduct in a particular high-profile matter before him may be weaponized against him. The judge had also reiterated that an email death threat he received in 2022 was still under active probe and the perpetrator is still at large. He had raised questions and concerns about the top cop's decision to revise his security when this matter is still looming and open. The judge further informed Christopher that he had advised his attorney to release his letters publicly in the event that he becomes a crime statistic if his request for security is rejected. Death threats. In June 2020, a brass-colored 9mm round of ammunition was sent to Seepersad in the mail with a note saying, "You are a whole racist, a infidel, a evil man, fed up of you, resign okay, shot call. This would look nice between your eyes." His security detail was increased after that threat. In 2022, he received a death threat via email that he and his family would suffer if he set aside a near billion-dollar judgment against the National Infrastructure Development Company, Ltd., NIDCO, for terminating its 2011 contract with Constructora OAS for the Solomon Hochoy Highway extension from San Fernando to Point Fortin. Had stated, "Many people need the wicked government to pay OAS. Respect the ruling. If you set aside sick, a hit will be put on you and you will live each day in fear till dia do julgamento, judgment day in Portuguese. If you make creditors suffer, your family will suffer too when we take you out. Just do the right thing or it's I sick. Bye-bye for you." On December 15, 2022, Seepersad ruled that the arbitrator's order that NIDCO pay OAS $857 million be set aside as he found the arbitration court erred when it either disregarded, misconstrued, or failed to properly evaluate certain pieces of evidence before it. On May 31, 2023, Christopher sent correspondence to Justice Seepersad advising that there existed negligible threats against him, and a decision had been taken to revise his security from 3 special branch officers to 1. Seepersad also has his private security personnel.
So there you have it, Tommy. We have a letter written to the Attorney General, to the Law Association, and to the Chief Justice.
Yep.
So it's not just Tatoni. It's 3 other, let's say, organizations in Trinidad and Tobago. So this is something I think...
And the commissioner is involved also.
Right, the Commissioner of Police, right? Yeah, I mean, I am... But, you know, I hope this brings back some type of decorum to radio in Trinidad and Tobago. And
I saw
you
on a
cannot
prior...
have...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I saw on a prior occasion Tata won 100.5 for breach of concession.
Yeah, and also I saw that when I tapped the first one that came up was what came up, that Trini Bashment 91.9. And then there was another one. It says there have been other instances where TAT have taken actions against radio stations or hosts in Trinidad and Tobago. For example, TAT conducted an investigation into complaints of political and racial bias at radio station I-95.5 FM. The complaints were filed by Global Organization of People of Indian Origin, GOPIO, and TAT was given 21 days to investigate and respond to the organizational concern. Additionally, there was a case where a radio company operating 102.1 FM, I think that is Power 102, and 94.1 FM stations, was fined for operating a radio communication service without a license on 102.6 and 102.5 FM. Well, that's a little different. That occurred in March and April of 2006, and the company pleaded guilty to the breaches. So, we have had instances, which is very limited. Yeah, very limited. I type up TAT radio dismissal and Juju Love came up, yes. I sorry for her program because that man named Mr. Ruka gonna put her program in more problems. But she alone put she program in problem. Okay. Yeah. So Tommy, in my estimation that these programs need to be monitored more, not just by TAT, but also by the management of these radio stations.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And they need to make sure that their hosts are not putting the radio station license in jeopardy. And and not only that, Tommy, but the callers too.
Yeah, well, what they have to do is make sure they keep playing the disclaimer when people call and say things that are unbecoming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And do not encourage people to be saying the wrong things either.
Mm-hmm. But Judy, welcome. Judy says, I do agree with Juju Love should pad down but speaking truth. Shouldn't call for lawsuits. They're trying to silence the truth. To be honest with you, Judy, I don't have a problem with people speaking the truth. But I think when you start to attack a person personally, and these ad hominem attacks, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
And you can't threaten anyone's life and encourage people to do such.
Yeah, the kind of threats them that's put out. Let me say them. That program that's put out against individuals is totally unacceptable. And the kind of names and the grading things them that say, I know them want to be. You see the days when you used to have shock jocks. Don't you remember that, right?
Yep.
We had two in this country. We had two individuals who was considered the biggest shock jocks of them all. Howard Stern and Imus.
Yep.
Those were two of the biggest shock jocks. Right? Now, Howard Stern is now on Sirius or Cyrus, whichever one you want to call it, which he has more freedom of speech over there. Right? I don't know where Imus is or if Imus is still alive. I don't know. Right? Totally different. But the kind of language that them does use on local radio station, it is unbelievable. I want to play. Let me see if this is one of them. Hold on.
But as usual, and as it pertains to the African people dating back from slavery, there are those among us who, as Kingsley described, live in the house. And when you live in the house, you don't see yourself as part of those on the field, like myself on the field. You
That is not the one. That is not the one. But that's just give you a kind of example. And here's another one.
and he could take me to court anytime. And in kissing my black K-Pax, I want to also tell Heavy and TC, they too could join in Tran and kiss my K-Pax tutorial. Or they could kiss my K-Pax, come to tell me but advice. I know like but I'm African. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. And he could take me to court anytime. And in kissing my black K-Pax, I want to also tell Heavy and TC, they too could join in Tran and kiss my K-Pax tutorial. Or they could kiss my K-Pax, come to tell me but advice. I know like but I'm African. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. And he could take me to court.
And Tommy, you see the thing about it, what saddens is that them is the kind of rhetoric that's come out of the program, and it is allowed to happen. So if you allow that type of thing to happen, what do you expect? At some point in time, you gonna have to suffer the consequences of your action. Listen to this.
Took place where?
On the East-West corridor, on the East-West corridor.
Took place where?
On the East-West corridor.
Oh, but
south
you have
of,
people,
south of the
but you have
no
people calling here to tell me and you and by extension our listeners and our viewers that when we come here is only one set of talk.
Yes, talk.
We talking. Well, okay,
we are making a
let's
case that Kamala between 2010 and 2015 ran an apartheid regime.
That is
right
the case we are building. That is the case we are building. That's all we're doing.
Look
Building
the
a
evidence
case.
there. We're bringing all the evidence. Look the evidence there.
Okay, so stick a pen. You see, the time has gone and it has long passed for HNs like Tabakit and Fall Street. The time has long gone for these people who will see discrimination taken against their own kind. And just because they want to sound politically correct, they want to sound balanced.
You hear that, Tommy?
Yeah, you want to sound balanced, sir?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the information is clearly there. The evidence is there. Nobody rather make up anything about her. It is there. If you actually want the evidence, you could, it's right there. She have given enough people evidence in order for this to happen. I just felt it take a very long time before it get to this point. Yeah? It took a long time. But I'm going to play this last one before I go.
Welcome back. Time on the inside, 2:38 p.m. And you are listening to the Juju Love Show. And today is the Juju Love Special. So, folks, I was saying just before we went to the break that there are those who have been calling on the PNM to distance itself from the Juju Love Show, and comments made on this station, and they are saying that this show is sponsored, or this show represents the People's National Movement. So let me clear up some issues here. One, as I said, I want to ask Wall Street, that professor of illiteracy, I want to ask him if Prime Minister Dr. Rowley could call this big 60-year-old woman, put her over his lap, and give me a good spanking on my behind. I think not. That is number one. Number two, Julia Davy and the Juju Love Show are not sponsored by the People's National Movement. We are not paid by the People's National Movement. The People's National Movement does not dictate what we say.
Folks, we got to leave it there and we got to go for the quick break. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. All the evidence is there, Tommy. We're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back after this. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere. Be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting you up. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. Yes, I'm like some goats when they come looking for votes. Hit the empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. It doesn't matter the religion, the color, the creed, or the race. It's our responsibility to take care of our place. Champion.
It's your boy WZYE, baby.
Yo, what it does? This your homie Rick Ross. This is your boy Gucci Man LaFleur.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
It's crazy, you heard me? You heard me?
Hey, I'm Ariana Grande. Hey, yo, this Cardi B. What's up? It's Megan Thee Stallion.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Check this out, it's DJ Khaled.
This is Post Malone.
Yes, that little Chico Pitbull.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. You are listening to Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street on WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening.
frustration get the better of you and make you do things you should never do. You got to keep the faith, you can't surrender. You never know, tomorrow may be brighter. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on.
And of course, we are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. You can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509. Remember, it's WhatsApp, so it's free.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can share the live at WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook, WZYE TV on YouTube, and WZYE 95.9 FM on Twitter, now known as X. And we welcome each and everyone here on Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics. Let me go to the chat. Ban Meha, welcome. Renwick Job out at Tobago, boy. Welcome. You say good afternoon, happy Mother's Day. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, thanks. Ban Meha say laugh out loud. Caribbean says, Wall Street, she means she in the field. She ever cut cane in her life. Oh, God. Julie says, Wall Street. They don't call me all kind of name. Wall Street, under the pavement, the Nutty Professor. The Nutty Professor was a good one, though. I thought that was a... Eh?
That was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one. I complimented the person on that one. Not nice. Show her people are so proud. Judy says, I sincerely hope she learns a vital lesson indeed.
She sincerely hopes she does that.
Yeah, what lesson she going on? The blind leads the blind. She's a waste of time. Oh, God. Sean Soka Field. I reach. Let's talk Tobago. Sean, where you joining us from? Yeah, Caribbean Soul. You know, as I play that, it's a roti party. Tommy, did you see that video with the Nigerian guy and the American girl? And they make a... Eh?
I did not.
You know what? It's on my phone. I had to download it and I'll go play it. They was tasting. And you know something, Tommy? Sean Sokafield says he's from Connecticut. He or she says he's from Connecticut. I'm not sure if it's a male or a female. You know, Tommy, Tommy? We have social media people, right? Coming into Trinidad and Tobago and making money off of us. Right?
Yeah.
They're going into Lavantil. And as I say that, I go digress. As I say that, I'm going on the next campaign, and I'm telling you guys I'm going on the next campaign. I'm going on the next campaign for the 2 billions in Canada. So I'm telling all you know, Tommy, I'm telling them, you know, I went on a campaign for the building in Chumakak, Lavantil. It's being renovated. I went on a campaign for the former Workers Bank building and the RPN mashed it down. Right? So I can't say nothing else. Right? I'm going on a campaign now for the 2 billions up in Canada, Lavantil, that the PNM, the RPM, have left there for the last 9 years abandoned. I'm going on a campaign for that. And I want to see if people like Julia Davy, Mr. Rooster, the pastor with the internet search engine name, Daily Cry Baby voice. I don't know if he back on the radio yet, Tommy, because they put him to sit down on the bench too. You understand? He was on the bench. The other one, Miss Fallacious, on the morning with that fella, John Wayne. Is John Wayne his name? Whatever his name is, some kind of way. Or what is this, Tommy?
I think it's Bruce.
Okay, Bruce. I thought, I was thinking about the movies, John Wayne. I was thinking.
That's quite
Thank you very much. He and the Miss Fallacious in the morning, right? All them are PNM activists. Let me see if they go talk about the 2 buildings what been left abandoned under the RPNM for the last 9 years in a constituency that have never forsaken the PNM. Are going on a rant for that to see if they go renovate them 2 buildings or if they go mash it down. Yeah. I just thought about that day. So I digress somewhat, Tommy. I apologize. I digress. But anyway, these 2 individuals, one from Nigeria and one from America, they went and they taste some Trini food and they make a soca called a roti party. I think I have it on my phone. Let me see if I have it on my phone here. Hold on, You know what? Let me go to YouTube and see if I find it on YouTube. Anyway, I go do it during the break. It will be easier if I do it during the break. I go find it for you during the break. And it's a big hit now. And they came to Trinidad and they tasting all kind of food. They taste pineapple chow, they toast roast corn, all kind of thing. And every time they only like, boy, this real good. This real good. Imagine if our government was to set up an industry for these people, and then we could export some of them food, like the chow, the pineapple chow. I think we are the only people in the world that makes pineapple chow. I want to think so, Tommy. Right? That could be a big industry. We have another peas industry down in Dogo Martin. Them is big industry. Them could employ people in them communities. Yeah? I hear they had a $250,000 grant that people could get. You think any one of them go get that? Yeah? And they have a new 20,000 grant in East Port of Spain. Right? I feel you gotta jump through hoops for them grant. All you know about them grant? And all you know anybody who get them grant? All I have to tell we, because we all let us say we don't live in Trinidad and we in foreign. Richie says, not using a big brush. When Afro people will shut up, pull their pants up, stop blaming the world, and just be seen and not heard all the time. I know what Richie talking about now. Richie? Eh? What Richie talking about?
Sounds suspicious.
Tommy, wait. Let me be sure. Are you calling Rishi suspicious? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying what the reference and that he's making makes him suspect.
Oh, okay. But Rishi been here when we play the comment by Martin Luther King says that they tell black people that they pull themselves up by the bootstrap, but they have left them bootless. Rishi was here when we played that. Right, Tommy?
Yep.
Richie, did you remember when we played that one? You were here, we played that. So kind of explain to me what exactly you mean. Because sometimes, we just fall short of understanding what it is. We don't want to misquote you or miscommunicate what you mean. You understand? So help us there, help us out. Yeah. Martin Luther King says this, right? The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the time of challenge and controversy. Let me repeat that. Martin Luther King stated, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the times of challenge and controversy. There we have it. Yeah, Tommy. So these two individuals now, they went to Trinidad now, and they're tasting all kind of different foods, and they're complimenting the food and all kind of things. And we have another fella in Trinidad too. Let me see if he go pick up the phone. What was he? Christmasless?
Christmasless. He's Canadian.
He's Canadian, correct. Let me see if he go pick up the phone. Let me see. I've communicated with him, but we haven't been able. Chris. Let me see. Chris.
Mustless.
Here we go. Let me see. Christmasless. So, folks, we trying another YouTuber who's been in Trinidad making videos all across the country, and doing very well. No answer. All right, Tommy boy, we coming up short these days, boy. Like they have we boy.
Only for a minute.
Yeah, only for a minute. I like that one. Only for a minute. Let me go back to the chat. Caribbean Soul says Norbit movie is my favorite. All right. Sean Sokerfield says from Connecticut. Caribbean Soul says Ling and Lamb. That is the two people. Okay. Sean Sokerfield says PNM could never get them 2 seats in Tobago. You know, I just said that, Sean. Tommy, I want to call Watson Duke, but only if you agree. It's okay for me to call him.
Sure, call Watson.
Let me call Watson Duke and see if he go pick up the phone. Watson Duke. There we go. I gotta get somebody to pick up the phone, Tommy. Oh God, boy. Watson, pick it up now. Tommy, I feel you listening, nobody. Tommy, like we are marked, boy.
Well,
that's a good thing, though. No answer, boy. Let me try again, man. You can't try once and give up, and you gotta try again.
Try and try.
It's better to try and fail to try, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do that show you say? Do that.
Say that again.
The song?
I hear you good.
Yeah, that's Roti Party. It's Ling and Lam, you say?
Ling and Lang, yeah. Roti Party. You get it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me try one other number here. For Watson Duke. Let me see if this one go answer. Well, there are two numbers here. Yeah, that number just calling, it and ringing. Sean Soka said the smaller parties in Trinidad better be careful. Sean, what do you mean by that? Better be careful about what? Caribbean Soul say Wall Street cry baby deal on right now. It does be only on Sunday. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right. Sean says, go ahead. Go ahead, Tommy.
No. You go ahead.
Okay. Sean Soka says UNC could win their same seats and only need those 2 seats in to be able to win the smaller parties. Better be careful. I agree with you.
Yep.
I agree with you. We fully agree with that.
The only issue is that if we have PDP and TPP fighting, them can run through the middle.
Correct. Yeah, correct is right. Yeah. And that's what I've said too. Yeah. JB Appa said Tobago will win the next election.
Tobago is the queen.
You mean Tobago could decide the next?
They're the queen of kingmaker.
You mean they could decide the next? Right, they could decide the next election. I agree with that. Wall Street, but the PM is the same man who said there's nothing about doubles. You think he really set up that? Okay. Rishi says, talking about the lady who just okay, you're talking about Julia Davy. Cool. That's why we asked question. Watson could have eaten some humble pie and came back stronger, but chose to go to war with a young lady. Well, like church going politicians like Farley. All right. So as we say that, right, let's look at we have the other issue, Tommy, that so we have the Julia Davy issue with TAT, which is an issue that we think is of significant importance in Trinidad and Tobago in trying to get radio stations to raise the bar of the type of programs they carry and just don't have divisive programs, trying to divide the country. Because in my estimation, some of these programs are race baiting. And the callers then call in and continue to raise the bar as far as that is concerned, rather than sticking to the issues. But we had a bigger issue today in the newspaper with regards to the CCTV that we talked about. So take a listen to this.
Blaming failed Gerald Hines, Moonilal calls for full-scale investigation into gangs spying on cops, calls for inventory of surveillance equipment in all public spaces. The United National Congress's Shadow Minister of National Security, Rudal Moonilal, is calling for an immediate and independent investigation into the discovery of electronic equipment worth hundreds of thousands of dollars illegally mounted on utility poles in the North Central Division, NCD. The CCTV cameras and wireless routers are being used by the criminal element to monitor law enforcement agents. This must be launched to determine the full scale of the illegal electronic activity, Moonilal said. One wonders whether criminals are also monitoring the courthouses as witnesses come and go attending criminal trials, he added. Moonilal said the inquiry must also ascertain how the equipment was illegally imported and installed without the knowledge of the relevant agencies. This troubling matter is another indication that organized criminals are well structured and better equipped than the relevant security agencies, Moonilal said. Moonilal described the illegal installation of electronic equipment on utility poles as another crushing indictment on the hopelessly incompetent failed Gerald Hines as Minister of National Security. Moonilal said it again exposes failed Gerald Hines' chronic uselessness in ensuring the safety and security of the traumatized people of Trinidad and Tobago. He said the issue was a surreal development in the nation's public affairs and once more reveals how the inept Rowley government has collapsed in the fight against the crime epidemic. Moonilal said, having called on Hines to fix the hundreds of CCTV cameras belonging to the state, we now have a situation where the criminals are more competent in maintaining effective electronic surveillance and coverage over law enforcement personnel. He said, "It is frightening that failed Gerald Hines and the police service did not have intelligence reports on the illegal CCTV cameras and wireless routers. But Hines has been able to maneuver major resources to hound Roger Best, the displaced director of the Strategic Services Agency, SSA. He has also utilized modern technology to carry out surveillance on opponents of the failed Rowley regime. The Rowley government has exhausted all its time, resources, and energy chasing down lawful citizens who obtained legal firearms. While the intelligence agencies have collapsed, the criminal underworld has shown more competence and coordination than the government. This is scandalous, incredibly untenable, and unimaginable." The UNCMP said failed Gerald Hines must answer for his uselessness. Failed Gerald Hines must go. He has proven to be a failure in national security. He cannot monitor a police station or radio station, a courthouse or an outhouse. Moonalal said Moonalal noted that there has been no denial or explanation of this outrageously bold and sinister matter. Failed Gerald Hines needs to answer to the population of Trinidad and Tobago.
There you have it, Tommy. And
Yep.
Tommy, just imagine, we people setting up their own CCTV cameras to monitor the police. What place are we living in, Tommy? Where are we living?
The United States.
Oh God, Tommy, I like that one. That's our boss one. That's our boss one. Rishi said the gangs are a big part of the country. Economy on the ground, meaning if we're not pumping a lot of gas and oil, that means our revenue. That means low revenue, so it comes in the country through them. You know, Tommy, they say in 11 years, Trinidad will run out of gas.
That's
Did you hear
not
that?
true. That's not true.
I go read the article for you.
Yeah. That's one person.
You think that rhetoric?
Of course, it's rhetoric.
All right. I don't know, Tommy.
Listen, there are so many explorations going on from time to time, especially in the deep water.
Yeah, but Tommy, you have said that we need to diversify the economy.
Yes, we need to do so, but we're not going to run out of gas.
But shouldn't we prepare just in case?
We can prepare.
Are we prepared?
We know that whatever preparation is taking place is very limited. Tobago is probably the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Florida, welcome.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Hanson. Good evening, Mr. Tommy. Good evening to everybody on the chat and the live. Say happy Mother's Day to all. I hope you guys have a great day for Mother's Day. So, Mr. Hanson, I agree with you. The thing is, I don't know if they might run out of oil, but I think in the year 2035, I think the world wants to stop using fossil fuel. And they want to use renewable energy.
Correct is right.
So I don't know if they run out. Probably they could run out, but I think by 2035, the world want to stop use this oil and gas, and so I agree with you, and I agree with Tommy. So you see, we get caught in a rock and a hard place. So I'll understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Florida went to the Waffle House. And I know there's a Waffle House in Florida. He went to the Waffle House. He gets some vegan waffles with some organic maple syrup on it, unsweetened.
Yeah, but you realize that the oil is one thing, but the gas, we're going to be having gas for a while.
Yeah, but Tommy, if we're producing less gas, what that means with our income? If we are producing less gas, well, what does that mean?
But it can go either way. It can go less or more. But
You think it
gas,
could go more?
I think it just may go more.
Well, we are to go into Tobago now, into Tobago waters and try to see if we could get gas out there.
Well, as long as it's Trinidad and Tobago,
Or maybe we could go in Venezuela. You know? Maybe we could do we doing a dragon deal. Maybe we could do a goat deal too. You know? Dragon, we do a goat.
we could do a soca.
You could do a- Oh God. Judy says TCN if we keep trying to sway people to vote UNC. That's absolutely wrong. Let people use their brain to vote whoever they choose to. Yet, not one person have positive solution to fix TNT, only bumping gums days after day, week after week, and the continues. Okay. Tommy Richie says, Tommy, exploration in Trinidad deep water. What are you talking about?
All right. Guess I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh God. Let me follow up with this one. Richie says, Tommy, you will bring a rig to spend millions to get a dry hole. If we have so much gas, why we wanting Veni gas?
All right. I can't say everything that I've heard, but
Darren Red says, less production equal less gas. Oh God, Tommy boy, they're going after you today. But
yeah, well, I realize doom and gloom is are the sentiments of most trainings. But
Tommy, they want to know where you're going and get all that new set of gas from. Where you're going and get this set of gas. Where's that? We're going to improve the production. The gas, we're going to get more gas. By the way, let me say this, Tommy. Judy says, Tommy, always agree with you. We'll never run out of gas. So you see, you have people who agree with you too.
you see, someone was in my ear telling me recently about some new exploration that's about to take place on the northeast coast. See,
We go get new gas someday. New gas. I mean, I don't know, boy. Judy says gas oil is of nature that keeps regenerating. Okay. Yeah, but Tommy. Tommy, isn't that something when you drill a well, you just have to move the well over, you just have to go and drill on next place because that well does run out of water, or that well always have water?
I'm not I'm not prepared, or should I say learned enough to give you the right answer.
So let me ask you a question. Does a well produce water for the rest of our lifetime? Once you drill a well and you get water from that well, will that well always produce water forever? Or do you have to go in another place and drill in order to continue getting water? I don't know. I'm asking the question. I would think it's the same for gas. I don't know. But as you told me, I'm not an expert, so I'm asking. Where Mean Gene? We asked Mean Gene the question. He there? You see him? Tommy?
No, is Mean Gene an expert?
Oh, okay. No. No, he's not an expert. I apologize. I apologize. Sean Soka say, oh God, oh. Hey, Tommy, look, your partner just come. You know who's your partner, right?
Capitan?
Capitan. Capitan is your partner. Great is the PNM he reach.
Yes, Mr. PNM.
He say walls are selling out ahead of bailing out. I go in Guyana. He go in Guyana. I go into Guyana. They are real gas down there. If you go over there, he said they are real gas. Yeah?
Yeah, they have.
Oh God, Tommy, is she going after you today, boy? Tommy, we just drill for gas. And the last few years, well was drilling, Trini was dry. Yeah, boy. Stephen Addo, welcome. Where you joining us from? Capitan says, since the 70s under Eric Williams, we were empowered to. Empowered to do what? Capitan said, Walls, I work for Amoco. I know a little things about oil and gas. So we have oil, we have gas for the rest of our life, Capitan. Wall Street, in matters concerning the energy industry, you need someone like Kevin Ramnan, right? I reach out to Kevin Ramnan, right? COP, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Wall Street.
Good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon to you, Uncle Tony.
Good
Uncle
afternoon.
Tony, good, man. You're sounding good. But don't tell we somewhere here that gas will run out. Don't tell me that. We're going with what Wall Street say. The papers say, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago papers say we have for 11 years again. I go in with that. PNM bad managing it. They're not doing a good work. They're not doing a good work, Uncle Tony. Don't make it look good for the PNM, eh? All right.
No, it's, I'm Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Trinidad and Tobago.
Kunji, hold on. Go ahead, Tommy.
Kunji, I'm Trinidad and Tobago, and I believe Trinidad and Tobago is a blessed land, and there'll be blessings flowing after blessings as time goes on.
Yeah. But even though in Trinidad and Tobago the water is run out from the pipe, and the water is run out from barrel, and if you have good management, water will run out of the pipe. You know today is Mother's Day, right? Happy Mother's Day to all the independent mothers, the real mothers, not the mothers and them that is be calling 91.9. No Mother's Day for all you. You know, most of the country, even in my area, they don't have water. 5 days, the community don't have water, especially in the AGC development. It have people have 1 400-gallon tank. Mother's Day, 1 400 and 5 days now. They're telling me, Mr. COP, 3 days now water. We have no water at all. None. Going by a neighbor and asking for a bucket of water in 2024, you know. That bad management. Bad and ruthless management. Unforgiving management. Mothers can't even bathe in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And not just only in my electoral district. In many electoral districts in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Can't even bathe Mother's Day. We'll have to take their little money and go in the grocery and buy 2 of them gallon bottle of water to come home and cook something. And that is what we facing in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Mother's Day. Mother's Day. They're asking me for 2 cans of water. They're asking the neighbor who have tanks for 2-3 buckets of water. How sad that is. But Wall Street, amaze me and bother me, eh? And that's supposed to bother you too. Because we are part of 91.9 from existence. We run through with one of the greatest talk show hosts on 91.9, which is Gladiator. And we do all kind of battle. We never had race battle and tribal battle, which that people bringing down. With that African talk show host bringing down Indian people and saying the worst about Indian people who in big authorities and in big position in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. It never had them thing. It had equilibrium, it had balance. And today, what I hear coming out from 91.9 and them PNM talk show hosts and them, after this time we spend in 2024, we're supposed to be getting the best of radio talk show programs. We're supposed to be getting the best after all these years. In 2024, we get the worst. We get degrading views, controversial language. We get insulting program. We get mothers and fathers feel hurt by a talk show host who have a political agenda, either to bring down the radio station or just to degrade people who don't support the People's National Movement. And we classify that as a program and a radio program. I say sensible people say, yes, it's a program, but it's an insulting program. It's a betrayal program towards the integrity of radio and the image of 91.9. And that is what Neil Iowa George allowing on 91.9. What is the penalty for that? What is the penalty for that? I say yes, penalize 91.9. Yes, penalize 91.9. Not by taking the license, by taking out all them railings. You see them railings what 91.9 have up in that step? It mustn't have no railing for them talk show hosts and them to hold on to walk up that step. Because they're getting so big and fat, they must get tired. That step must be the penalty for speaking so much of nonsense on 91.9. Don't interfere with the license. But I just ask for the railing to be moved. And in the next hour, we will deal about that national security business, Wall Street and Uncle Tony. But Uncle Tony, not for 1 second, make any excuse for this PNM government. Because when you say, nah, somewhere in the papers, they say, that running out. That is PNM laugh, especially Imbut. Imbut laugh and say, oh, yes, yeah, and we side making we feel good. Don't give you that joy at all. He taking we money. He taking we money. Washington, Uncle Tony, have a good day.
Yeah, man, bless.
You too, Kunji. You know.
Oh boy, Kunji, yeah, a mouthful there, boy, to me, boy.
Yeah, but everything has to be political. Everything has to be red and yellow. Nothing can be red, white, and black and Trinidad and Tobago. And that's really sad.
Tommy, he said, Tommy, you talking about the paper say gas running out in 11 years, and Tommy supporting the PNM and saying gas not running out in 11 years, boy, Tommy. That's what the man say. He said that. You know, I know, Tommy. Sean Soka says the gas could be there, but not proven companies not prepared to shell out for exploration. Yeah, I mean, BP sell. Then BP sell some of them fields to Penco or something like that. BP knows something we don't know.
Well, guess what? Some of the other guys need to make some money. BP probably fat enough, and they have enough going on in Guyana and Suriname.
They could bust it from TNT in certain instances.
Yeah, because they see greater potential in the new markets.
Okay. Rishi says his gas pockets do run low and at times dry up. It's huge pockets. What, boy? Rishi gain me some experience there, boy. Capitan says sideline drilling. What is that? What is sideline drilling?
Drilling sideways.
Drilling sideways? So if you can't drill straight, you drill to the side.
Yeah, you wind to the side.
So Capitan say
no, I know this one guy in South who told me he was an expert on doing sideways drilling.
Oh.
He tell me you would tell him you show him where the resources, and he would go sideways up a mile away and get it.
Oh, so Capitan know what you're talking about then?
Mm-hmm.
Capitan look like he get good experience at Amakoba. He learned something.
Yep.
So Rishi said, my question is, if we have so much gas, why we not have rigs making holes? We had a guy expert to answer that, but
Rishi, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, but a lot is going on that we don't even know about.
Capitan said, if you drill a new well, you have to pay tax on that. Okay. All right. Capitan said, walls, no current in 11 years. What current you talking about, Capitan? What current you talking about? Huh?
No, I listen to Kunji talking about water. Are we to blame some foreign entity for not having water?
In Trinidad?
Yeah, are we to blame like the United States or somebody else for not having water?
I don't understand that, Tommy.
WASA is a local company.
But
WASA is run by Trinidadians. Yes, whoever is in authority have the oversight, but it's the same people, year go, year come, regardless of who has the oversight.
We gotta blame Wassa for
Absolutely.
the problem in Trinidad.
Absolutely.
Rishi say Capitan sidetrack and directional drill. Okay. Hey, but we got some people who know a little bit about drilling in Trinidad. Yeah. Rishi knows something, boy, and Capitan, boy. Curtis says, not so happy, but Mother's Day nonetheless. Capitan said that's illegal. What's illegal? Side drilling?
A lot of illegal things take place that we don't even know about. Because not everything that we get to talk.
Isn't everything you know you just talk, right? Well, good, Tommy. Things like gas, we can't go on saying Trini is blessed. Trini is blessing. It's a fact that we have lots of dry hole. Make sense of it. If you have lots of something, why go ask the next country for it? Okay.
All right.
Yeah. You can't give your neighbor water. Oh God, boy, Tommy, like Rishi come here today, boy. Tommy, who does
So
sell a milking cow? Stop saying BP selling to give money to other companies. That's madness. And PP not in Ghana is Exxon Mobil. Oh God. Tommy, Richie upset today, man. Oh God, Tommy's more, you know. Tommy look even Darren Red come Tommy. Well, Uncle Tommy, politics involving anything, everything in running a country. Policies.
I fully agree.
Eh?
So regardless of who the political directorate is, if they are national companies giving us service, we have to lean on them.
Okay, and here's Richie again. Tommy, I'm telling you, not asking. My job for last 25 years is drilling hole in the earth. So you got an idea. Oh, Tommy, man telling you, you have the expertise, you know.
Okay, well, edify
I'm
me.
telling you, he not asking you for the last 25 years. He been drilling hole in the earth, boy. So you have an idea. So Tommy Richie telling we in 11 years we run out of gas, boy. We might have to use
Solar.
solar. No, what is that kind of thing? Pitch oil. You gotta use pitch oil.
Mm.
You gotta use pitch oil. What pitch oil has come from? Pitch oil is what pitch oil has come from?
It's a byproduct from petroleum.
Yeah, I wonder how did us break that down into pitch oil? It is just uh, it, so Richie and Capitan tell we how did us come to the Tommy, you know how did us come to pitch oil?
Kerosene.
Yeah. What we just using we flambeau and thing. And the coal pot. Is the same thing or is something different?
It's kerosene.
They just call it pitch oil. Just call it kerosene. Kerosene, yeah.
When we coal pot, you use coals.
But you didn't use to throw a little pitch oil in it?
That's just to get the coal
Yeah, to get
started.
the flames going up.
Get it started.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Tommy, we have, let me see what this person here is saying. It dies, it does heat up, and it's a byproduct of oil. Okay. It's a byproduct of oil.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to break it down in a certain way. Right?
In the refining process, they get different. In the oil refining process, they get different products.
Right, right.
They get gas, they get diesel, they get kerosene.
Yeah.
Because jet fuel is a light fuel, it could probably be close to kerosene for all you know.
Yeah, Tommy, before we go for the break, right, I want to show something with respect to Prime Minister Rowley. And I'm stealing something from our partner. He said, it's not hypocrisy, you know, it's hypocrisy. And this is hypocrisy at its fullest. Tommy, you know, 4 years ago, the Prime Minister was in Ghana. 4 years ago.
Is it that long already? 4 years already?
Listen to what the Prime Minister said 4 years ago, and I'll show you what he said a day ago in Ghana. Listen to this.
Trinidad and Tobago has been involved in the petroleum sector for over 100 years, undertaking considerable oil and gas exploration on land and shallow water. As the largest oil and natural gas producer in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago's hydrocarbon sector moved from an oil one to mostly natural gas based in the early 1990s. In January 2007, the then Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the late Patrick Manning, announced the establishment of an African Energy Initiative at the 8th Ordinary Session of the African Union in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. The objectives of this initiative for Trinidad and Tobago were to provide assistance to the countries of West, Central, and South Africa in developing their energy sectors, to further the economic development and wealth of the selected states of the African Union by providing free technical expertise in an advisory capacity to assist them in monetizing their petroleum and natural gas resources. Also to assist Africa's achievement of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. And thirdly, to enhance opportunities for South-South cooperation with selected states of the African Union. Additionally, there have been discussions between the Takoradi Technical University of Ghana and the University of Trinidad and Tobago, UTT, focused on exploring between the two universities the development of human resources and technical capabilities for Ghana's oil and gas industry. Trinidad and Tobago is ready and willing to assist in the development of this new area of economic activity in Ghana, and you will find in Trinidad and Tobago a ready partner through energy skills training and linkages between our tertiary institutions. These two areas, energy and agriculture, build on a history of collaboration between our two countries. It is for this reason that Trinidad and Tobago would wish to enter into arrangements with Ghana as soon as possible for the establishment of air services and transportation between our two countries. This would promote the movement of people and goods and improve the trade prospect between our countries.
That was 4 years ago, folks. Tommy, that was 4 years ago, right? Listen to this. 4 years ago. Listen to a few days ago. Listen to this.
Imminent finalization of a gas deal between Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana were among the topics discussed when Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley met with President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, at the office of the President, Jubilee House in Accra, Ghana, on Friday. Both leaders also expressed a desire to harmonize efforts between CARICOM and the African Union with respect to the growing calls for reparations for the injustices committed against Africans and people of African descent through the transatlantic enslavement. Prime Minister Rowley emphasized the need for the completion of the negotiations of the bilateral air services agreement between the two nations, as Ghana serves as a gateway to West Africa for Trinidad and Tobago. Mrs. Sharon Rowley accompanied the Prime Minister to the courtesy call. Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amory Brown, also joined the Prime Minister at the courtesy call. Prime Minister Rowley and Mrs. Rowley also joined the Ghanaian President and His Royal Majesty Otumfo Osei Tutu II, the Asante Hene, at the commissioning of the ceremony for the international airport in Kumasi.
Why are we wasting taxpayers' dollars, Tommy? 4 years ago, Tommy, you went there. Nothing came out of it. You're going back again. And what is going to come of it? We go sign a memorandum of understanding. We go sign a MOU. Right? And nothing going to come out of it. I mean, hypocrisy. Not hypocrisy, no. Hypocrisy.
You believe it's all a waste of time and resources?
Waste of time and money. You know what could happen there? He could have done that virtually. That could have been done virtually and save taxpayers' dollars. You went 4 years ago. What was the result from 4 years ago, Tommy? What was the benefit to the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, it took 4 years to plan whatever they're doing today.
And Tommy, you say that with a straight face, you know.
you want me to flinch?
At least a little bit.
All right, I will.
Yeah. Tommy, you said it's our problem is African, Indian, UNC, and PNM one people. Our problem is African, Indian, UNC, and PNM, not one people. All right. Rishi says Ghana is well developed. It's not like the rest of Africa. Good on them. And then, you know, the Prime Minister went to the commissioning of the new international airport in Ghana. I mean, we wasting money, Tommy. We wasting money. And we are yet to see the 17 billion benefits that Trinidad and Tobago have received from all these travels of millions and millions of dollars being spent. Yeah? So, folks, we're going to go for a quick break. And let's go for the break. Let's just do this quickly before we go for the break. Because we should have Assemblyman Trevor James joining us at the end of the thing. Let me see this here. Let me play this voice note before we go for the break. Hold on.
Wall Street and Uncle Tony, this wicked man, this evil man they call Dr. Rowley. Rowley and the PNM know we have 100 years of experience, wealth and knowledge. No other Caribbean islands had the knowledge we have in oil and gas. But Rowley is the man that shut down the refinery. After 100 years, shut down with refinery. And today we buying oil and gas. What is good of those experiences? What we benefit from those experiences? Eh? Dr. Rowley is an evil man. He's a wicked man. And you put that in the 1% hand. That's the only thing they didn't control in Trinidad. He's an evil man. Your followers and them. Your followers and them. It's just sad to see.
All right, folks, we're going to go for a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have with us Assemblyman Trevor James from the Assembly in Tobago. Stick and stay. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. And don't forget, we have In the Village Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. We'll be right back after this. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Yo, what's cracking like? This is Big Snoop Deal Double G.
You're in the mix with the one and only Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Yeah, check it out, man. It's your boy Akon. Alright, what it is, man? It's your boy T-Pain.
You can pop, lock, and drop it. Just don't stop it. Bringing you the jams from the 2000s and more.
Yeah, this is your boy Flo Rida. Believe that.
This is Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. Sunday Talk. You are listening to Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street on WZYE 95.9 FM.
Frustration get the better of you and make you do things you should never do. You got to keep the faith, you can't surrender. You never know, tomorrow may be brighter. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington, you on WZYE 95.9 FM. You can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509.
So, folks, in a minute, we're going to have with us Assemblyman Trevor James. He's going to be joining us soon. As soon as he joins us, we're going to bring him in. Caribbean Soul said, what came out of that symposium? That was a lime. Okay. Darren says, PNM policy is trickle-down effect, which means the rich first. The UNC's policy is people-centered, which means people first. At the end of the day, citizens will have a choice to make. Richie says the average monthly salary in Accra is $30. Curtis Lampkin said, don't disrespect Dr. Keith Rowley. But Curtis,
we try not to. Curtis, we try not to disrespect her.
But Tommy, isn't who just called people imps and chimps in Trinidad and Tobago? I don't remember. Who just said a woman is like a golf course, she needs to be groomed? I don't remember. Maybe somebody can help me. I don't recall. Yeah? So, we had to keep it real. So, folks, as soon as
Mr. James comes in,
I see him in the background, but he doesn't have his camera on. So as soon as he put on his camera, we're gonna bring him in to join us. Yeah. In the meanwhile, let me see what I have here. Oh, here he is. Um, Let me see him here. I think he's about ready. Um, Let me see. Uh, Trevor, welcome. How are you doing?
Hey, Anselm, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, your co-host, your listening public, wherever they are. I'm good. It's good to be alive today.
Excellent, excellent, man. It's always good to be alive. Welcome back to Indie Village. Well, Indie Village. Sunday talk. Let's talk politics. Let's say Indie Village. Just be Indie Village.
Yes, yeah.
Sunday talk. Let's talk politics. So,
Yeah.
how are you doing? How are things? First of all, tell us about how things going in your constituency there. I call it your constituency in Tobago. Tell us a little things that's happening before we get to your ministry, which is the Ministry of Infrastructure.
Well, I think we've now been in office two and a half, 2+ years. We continue to manage the resources given to us. We you know, have inherited a legislation that does not work in our favor. We've inherited a severe quantity of debt, and we continue to employ strategies to move the economy forward, to try to invigorate the private sector and to provide for the people as they've requested of us. And I think, all in all things considered, we've done a manful job, and we continue to work for the people.
Now, recently, Trevor, there was an issue with respect to $4.8 million, and I wanted to explain to that what happened. Where's that? There was a charge for about $4.8 million. Is that accurate? To um,
Well, as you know, maybe some of your listeners will know, we inherited a company registered as SPEL, Studley Park Enterprises Limited, a company set up to run the quarry at Studley Park after many years of the quarry being run in the public sector through the Division of Infrastructure. The PNM has tried several different managers, several different structures before deciding to attempt to run the quarry under this company, privatizing essentially the workers up there and the staff and so on. And we inherited that. That company was registered in 2017. When we got into office, coming out of COVID, construction work being reduced, the quarry needed an intervention. We changed boards, changed managers, and I think we are at the place of finally trying to put a strategic plan in place in order to move, in order to bring the real benefit to the people of Tobago from the quarry. Um, so to operationalize the quarry, there is need, of course, for a licensing regime that includes a blasting license, operation license, and an export license, all of which apparently has been interpreted to be issued by the Ministry of Trade with input from the Ministry of Energy and Energy Resources. Therefore, the Ministry of Energy sent their auditors to audit Spell's books, and that would be Spell from 2017 to now, and came to a determination that Spell had owed royalties to the ministry and therefore to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to a tune of $4.8 million, and decided that until Spell could pay that sum to them, they would not issue an export license, among others. So we are at that place where the law says that the Tobago House of Assembly is responsible for matters under the fifth schedule, As part of that fifth schedule, of course, we have the environment and all of that. And taxes generated in Tobago are to be paid in Tobago to the THA. And we have, in my opinion, a ministry that is contending that the Tobago House of Assembly Act in this regard does not require, does not come into effect, and the requirement is still to pay the tax to Trinidad. This is after the PNM being in office in Tobago from 2017 to 2021, and the ministry not requiring them to pay a single cent of royalty. So that's where we are at. We continue to try to resolve the matter, and we have had no movement on it to date, and we continue to try. The people of Tobago do have to come to this place where all of us are agreeing that every ounce of responsibility that the THA Act affords us that we must take, and we must stand together to see that this kind of behavior from the government offices in Trinidad is illegal, and we will not stand for that.
So, Trevor, is this a continued demonization by the RPNM of the Tobago House of Assembly? Is this a continued, this is my words, not yours, a continued demonization of the RPNM with respect to the Tobago House of Assembly? And we could say under your ministry, Ministry of Infrastructure?
Well, it seems to be a continuation of a mindset that says that because the people of Tobago voted against the PNM, that the PNM government will weaponize every state agency to humbug, frustrate, and retard the progress of the works under this administration. And this seems to be one of the areas that they will use. And again, I see that the people of Tobago, and quite possibly Tobagonians who are in Trinidad, who support this kind of craziness, must come to the point in their minds where they put Tobago first and vote accordingly, because we have been struggling for autonomy since APT. No, we had the fortune, some say the misfortune, of the 1980 Act, which brought some level of self-determination. Robinson called it internal self-government. We had some greater movement in 1996, but this idea that a minister that acts of parliament, that the parliament did not see the need to change in 1996, and under a rogue prime ministership that seems to think that despite the THA Act, ministers of government have full responsibility in Tobago, is something that the parliament has to treat with, because it really cannot be that a ministry, that a public servant in Trinidad has the right to determine, to make policy directions in Tobago. It just simply can't be that. The laws of the country didn't envision a situation where a public servant, essentially public servants in Trinidad, holding the government in Tobago, who the people voted to represent them, to ransom with the support of PNM officials in this case.
Mr. James, has operation been shut down due to this big bill?
No, we continue to operate. We can't export, but we continue to operate. The challenge, one of the challenges we have, of course, is that being as street managers, we want to make decisions based on empirical data. And so we are at the place where we are trying to determine the size of investment that the spell can carry, given the market that's available to it. And if the market is Trinidad and Tobago only, then the size of investment and spectrum carry will be reduced. In a context where no ministry in Trinidad has bought material from Spell for the last 24 months, for the last 12 months. And,
wait, repeat that. No ministry have bought anything
no
from
ministry, no ministry has bought any material for any projects in Trinidad from Spell in the last 12, maybe 16 months.
So we saw basically we see in 2017 to 21 that exportation took place as normal and business ran in
yes,
full.
during that period, Kelvin Charles, for example, had applied for a license to export and did in fact receive a license. So that's not a new thing. It is the state through the government using its perceived power to punish Tobagonians for voting against Trinidad and voting against PNM government. And it is something that every Tobagonian and every Tobagonian in Tobago, in Trinidad and abroad should be standing up against.
So, Trevor, is there any law with respect to the central government having to tax Spell with respect to any production there?
Well, they're using the Minerals Act, which requires all quarries to pay royalties to the state, especially if you're on state lands. So that act applies in Trinidad, in my view, in our view. That act applies in Trinidad. So you saw last week, I think, there was a report that came out that said that quarry operation in Trinidad owed hundreds of millions of dollars in royalties that they have not paid and continue to apply. I think that came out of the papers just last week. There are today quarries in Trinidad and individuals in Trinidad who have aggregate export license as we speak, and still can't get one. So they use that act that require quarry operations to pay royalties. The issue is that if royalties are due to be paid, then the royalties have to be paid to the TJ, because the TJ collects taxes in Tobago for every business that operates in Tobago. Those taxes are paid in Tobago, not in Trinidad.
Makes good sense.
It's interesting because there was also a company shut down for illegal quarrying in Trinidad, and the person had some connection to a contractor in Tobago. So it's kind of interesting.
Well, when you are friends with the Prime Minister, you can in fact get away with anything. And this may be one of those circumstances, but we would wait to see what comes of the case. But that's not our issue. Our issue is that all right-thinking Trinbagonians ought to apprise themselves of the law and let us try to follow the law. No, you would know, and them having been in the US for a long time, that states go to parliaments and make laws to take away the rights of others, especially minority groups. In the Trinidad and Tobago context, Tobago is the minority, where you have a parliament that is dominated by Trinidad, 39-2 Tobago, and therefore the parliament can pass any law, anytime, to disenfranchise Tobago, because Tobagonians does not have a real voice in the parliament, houses of parliament, meaning the house of the lower house and the Senate. And so, as you would know, the US passed several laws to take away the rights of Africans, and Africans had to get out of that new form of slavery, had to revolt again in a different way. So you don't expect, and no one should expect, that in multi-jurisdictional countries as we have, where the national parliament is controlled by one country, by one part of the country, that if you go and you make a law that everybody should obey the law because we are law-abiding, you don't get out of slavery by obeying slave master laws. Our tradition as Africans is to resist until we are emancipated.
Yeah, and as you say, emancipated, we now have African emancipation there in Trinidad and Tobago. But that's for that is our next story.
Yeah. Yes.
We get emancipated twice. Once by the
Yes,
slave
yes,
master,
yes.
and the next time by Prime Minister Rowley.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
But Trevor, what is the situation with respect to Trinidad and Tobago government receive a 30 million subvention that was reported in the newspaper regarding the oil spill in Tobago? Is that money paid directly to the people handling the oil spill, or does the Tobago Havers Assembly as part of that process with respect to how that 30 million is allocated?
Well, we have been continually suspicious, not only of the vessel running aground in Tobago and where it came from and all of that, but in how this whole thing has managed. The Prime Minister came to Tobago, had a joint press conference with the Chief Secretary, and promised the people of Tobago and Trinidad that the Trinidad government would pay the bills for the cleanup. The THA therefore expended a large sum of money, expecting that at some point before the mid-year review, that these bills will be paid by the central government, who have access to emergency funds. We are yet to receive a cent. They went off to London. The Chief Secretary and I were in London at the same period when Minister Young was there. And we had no idea that this meeting was taking place. We have sent them advice, we have sent down our expenses to date, and we are yet to receive a cent. But this is not strange for the PNM. You would remember, and some of you have the age to remember, that monies was sent for Tobago post Flora, but Tobago never received. International donated funds sent to Trinidad and Tobago for Tobago under Eric in those days, post Flora, Hurricane Flora, never received. You would be aware as well that monies were sent by the European Union to build that link road from Lansformie to Charlottesville. Again, this time under Manning, never came to Tobago and was reprioritized to be spent in Trinidad. So this is not a new thing for Tobagonians. The thing is that we are more wise to these matters, and all I say to Tobagonians is that you have to be acutely aware of what is happening in this space around us and how that affects your life. You cannot continue to vote for somebody who, at every opportunity they get, disenfranchises you, and then come to you after some sheep clothing to say, vote for us, our party stable, we don't wash our linen in the public, we can manage the country, and vote for us. At some point, Tobagonians have to come to terms with those kinds of lies and make a firm decision that this is not what we expect from a union. And if the union, another thing, and that we have to think about as Tobagonians, we probably have the only legislation, the only constitution that does not spell out a way for the islands to separate themselves.
Now, Mr.
Britain,
James.
Canada, the US, Simkis, Nevis, all constitutions with multi-country, multi-state countries have this provision in their constitution. Trinidad and Tobago constitution is the only constitution that does not provide for a way for Trinidad to say, listen, we don't want this union anymore, it's not working on our behalf. Or Tobagonians to say, this is not what we want anymore, it's not working on our behalf. And so we are pigeonholed into a place where politicians in Trinidad will say to us, we make the laws for you, obey the laws as we make them. And we have no way of getting getting proper redress. And we continue like this decade after decade after decade. My entire life, when the DSC won in Tobago in 77, we were just going to secondary school. So my entire adult life, if I'm counting that from 11, has been spent looking on as Tobagonians, trying to extricate itself, to get a better deal, to be able to manage itself, to determine for itself where it wants to go, and being humbugged by PNM, willfully so, because they control the majority of seats in Trinidad. It just can't be that we must continue to obey these draconian slave master type laws to our detriment. It just can't be.
Mr. James, there was a road that was being built that was interrupted not too long ago. What is the status of that road?
Well, again, in our estimation, every state agency that could have been mobilized against the road was in fact mobilized. We are coming from a context where the EMA and town country planning and so on have sat back for years under the PNM for projects in Tobago that had no approval and did nothing, and attempted years after to regularize, if that's the word, projects that didn't have approval. In the case of the road, again, state agencies demonized, weaponized against Tobago to stop the road. We've overcome most of them in court. We are now at the place where we started a long negotiation with the owner of the Caribbean estate, where the road passes through a small part of the estate. He took a decision to go to court to have an injunction, and we are treating that matter. I think the next hearing should be sometime in June. And again, we will treat that matter, and we have the court decide whether a private individual rights should supersede the rights of Tobagonians generally. We are operating, I think, in a space where too many of us do not wish to see Tobago developed. Let me ask you. It is a crazy thing where we have become content doing a maintenance job on colonial roads that predated Eric Williams, and essentially trying our best to maintain that and not open up the country for real investment to take place. And so we will continue under this government administration to push the envelope. We will continue to take on projects that we feel will bring significant economic value and opportunity to Tobago, and we will continue to fight. We continue to push it. Nothing is going to be easy once there's PNM in Trinidad.
Are there eminent domain laws that can be applied to that?
Oh yeah, there are laws under the Highways Act that apply. And we present those. I don't want to become sub judice, but we present those to the court. We have in fact presented our case to the court through an affidavit, and the lawyer representing the owner of the estate has asked for time to counter, and I'm supposing that he will submit his affidavit, his response, sometime before the 6th, and the judge would meet on the 6th to determine how we go forward.
No, Trevor. Go ahead.
But the Highways Authority Act does in fact allow the THA and the Division of Infrastructure to upgrade existing roads, and we're making the case that in fact the Cart Road there is an existing road, travels for more than 50-60 years, and we have the right to in fact upgrade that road and take in, I think the law allows for 15 feet on both sides of the Cart Road. So we will see how that plays out in court.
Mr. James, just shifting gears a little. Next year is general election due, and that's going to be a very contentious period, I can imagine, especially in Tobago at this particular juncture. Now we have the PDP still in the loop, and of course the TPP is the dominant force in Tobago at this particular time when it comes to the THA. Do we see a potential problem with the PDP for creating an opening for the PNM?
I don't think that the PDP is a real threat. I
Okay.
think Tobagonians by and large are disillusioned with Mr. Duke, with all his antics and his actions over the last few years. He's trying his best to remain relevant politically, but I don't think there is any support at all for the PDP now. So I don't think there will be a splitting of the votes at all, no matter what Mr. Duke says and continues to say. When I listen to Mr. Duke these days, I'm reminded of this PR guy that was presenting the Iraq case on the news every night when the US was bearing down illegally on them and saying that they were winning the war. Up to the last day before he was arrested, he was telling the world that Iraq was winning the war. I think Mr. Duke is close to that guy.
Okay, say no more.
So Trevor, I wanna get to a point that's been in the air in Tobago regarding a reshuffling. And through the I'm not gonna say through the grapevine, but through the TPP grapevine, why are secretaries reported to be threatening a coup if there's a reshuffle by the chief secretary? I'm talking about the TPP grapevine.
Well, I don't
You know there's
know.
a grapevine.
I'm part of the executive council. I don't know if persons who are not in the executive council could be called a grapevine. I don't think that there is any truth to that report whatsoever. But I don't want to comment too much on the reshuffle. I think the law provides for the chief secretary to name his or her secretary at any point in time, and he will take that responsibility and come to the public when he's made a decision. I don't think even secretaries, by law, have a right in this kind of assignment of portfolios or a decision on which person should be a secretary or an assistant secretary, as the case may be. The law is clear that that's the sole purview of the chief secretary. And as such, there can be no grapevine that that pushes narratives or gossip to the public where reputable people should listen to. So I mean that's my view. I think when a decision is made and finalized, the chief secretary would make an announcement as to what he wants to do with his executive council.
So you are agreeing that as an assembly person, it is one of servitude, and it is up to the chief secretary if he decides that there's going to be a reshuffle. It's not that a person is looking at a person in any way, but he might think that in order to improve the services and so on, a reshuffle might be necessary. So people understand it is one of servitude and not one of grandeur of office, so to speak.
Well, I don't like the words you're using. I think from an academic from an academic standpoint, any colonial law that this is my personal view, any colonial law that reposes kingly power in one individual should not be laws that we are governed by. Unfortunately, that's the law that we have. That's the law that governs Trinidad and Tobago cabinet, where the Prime Minister has sole and singular responsibility to decide who his ministers would be and to decide when elections are called. And so in the THA Act, the chief secretary has a similar responsibility, not the calling of election part, but in naming his executive council. So it has nothing to do with whether individual members of the executive council agree that we stand to serve at the behest of the chief secretary and we wait like sheep to be told where we want to do. I think it's not like that at all. I think we are all working within the framework of the law that we have, and that's the responsibility of the chief secretary, and that's he's solely responsible for that. So people's personal views of whether the law is right or whether it's good is at this point irrelevant. But if you ask me personally, I have been to the public to say that these laws just don't make any sense. You know. But that's the law that we have today, and until we as citizens, Trinidad and Tobago, do you think it is right for one man in Trinidad to decide at his will who should be a minister? That surely can't be right. So people who still believe that, and the need for constitutional reform generally across the region to change these colonial type laws that has been forced upon us by our forefathers who grew up in a colonial time and all they knew was that. So, you go to the US and you have to appoint a judge, and that process could take you years because set of different restrictions are in place to ensure that the right person is appointed. Similarly, I think a system like that might be better, but that is just me talking as an individual. As of now, we are part of the Executive Council under the THA Act, and the Chief Secretary has that authority, him alone, and he would use that authority as he sees fit, and that is what it is.
So this is not a situation where it's that when there's a reshuffle that people will hold the chief secretary to ransom because there's a reshuffle.
Well, like I said, I think I answered that. Like I said, no one could hold a chief secretary to ransom. The law doesn't allow for that to happen. When the chief secretary or the prime minister makes a decision on who should be in his cabinet, it is presumed that there is agreement with the person to serve. I don't think the prime minister could name a minister with a portfolio, and the person is not willing to serve, and he therefore embarrasses the prime minister, having the prime minister go to the public and say, Alwari, you will now move from Attorney General to Community Development. And Alwari is no longer willing to serve as whatever the position is, and allows the Prime Minister to make that announcement. I don't think that would happen. So that might be the end of someone's political career. So I don't see that at all. Nobody could hold the position holders, the Prime Minister's office and the Chief Secretary to ransom. That is just narrative building foolished talk by Duke and others. That is just impossible.
No, I wanna get back to a point that Tommy had made with respect to Mr. Watson Duke. I understand what you said previously, but yesterday's yesterday and today's today. I think that was Basdio Pandey who made that comment. Yes, in politics, yesterday's yesterday and today's today, right? I mean, Mr. Watson Duke have said some of the worst things about the chief secretary, the TPP, and many other things in Trinidad. But let's look at it from a political standpoint. And with regards to splitting the votes, isn't it better? I'm asking the question, isn't it better for a TPP, and PDP coalition as opposed to a separation with TPP and PDP in order to win the 2 seats in Tobago?
Now, if you're asking me this as a individual and not as because I can't speak on behalf of the TPP on this matter. I'm not part of the TPP executive. And
So
therefore,
the internet.
TPP has not, Hello?
Trevor, we not
Yeah.
hearing you. Trevor, we didn't hear you. We didn't hear
You
you.
hear
We
me
didn't
now?
hear you. Internet went out.
Oh,
Yeah, we hearing you now. The
I'm,
internet went out there.
I'm,
Could you repeat?
I'm saying that
TPP.
I am not a member of the TPP executive,
Okay.
and therefore I can't speak on this matter as though I am.
Okay.
So I could only respond to you as a member of the TPP and as a Tobagonian. And I think from where I sit, um, from my own personal analysis, I don't think that Mr. Duke and 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 Dr. Ned has anything to offer the people of Tobago. And that is my position. I don't think there'll be any splitting of any votes. Um, I think the writing has been on the wall for Mr. Duke since he took that action in New York, and I think he has buried himself under a mountain of dirt that he cannot extricate himself from. And unfortunately, as it is, um, that might be the end of Duke. I don't see how or whether there will be a need to form a coalition. I don't see that. I don't think as a manager, I don't think as a that there's anything to gain from forming such a coalition. I don't think he has support.
Now, here is a question from someone. It looked like more of an opinion, but it's addressed to you. The person said, Mr. James, in my honest opinion, the TPP should be fighting this with the UNC. Where they are missing billions is unaccounted for because this is not a UNC and PNM fight only. I hope you understand what the person is trying to get at.
You're talking about the Auditor General's report, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, we have tried our best to restrain from commenting on the Trinidad politics in the public so far. When the election comes and as announced and so on, we will begin to speak. But clearly, the PNM for years have tried to sell the people of Tobago that any opposition grouping in Tobago is linked and financed by UNC forces in Trinidad, and therefore Tobagonians should vote in a way to ensure that a UNC government doesn't come into office because of the race divide in Trinidad. It would mean supporting one race above your race. That essentially has been the PNM argument in Tobago when it comes to the UNC and any opposition group in Tobago. At the same time, they are taking hundreds of millions of dollars from another racial group in Trinidad to the detriment of all African people on the both islands. And people are silent about it. Now, absolutely, it is a very damning report. And the report, from what I've been told by leaks and so on, contains more damaging information than that $2.6 or whatever billion that we account for. It is strange in my view that the UNC has not held and gone to court against the speaker because the speaker, by law, if I have not misread the law, could have laid the bill, could have laid the report in the House. The report did not have to be laid by the Minister of Finance. The report was handed to the speaker and could have been laid by the speaker. I don't understand yet why the UNC hasn't taken legal steps to force the speaker's hand to lay the report in the House. But yes, that would be one of the discussion points going forward. I think from a Tobago context, though, we have to time our public pronouncements on Trinidad issues so that it has the greatest impact. I don't think the UNC has prosecuted the case fully as yet, and I don't think adding our voices at this point will do much to change the minds of voters. At the end of the day, that is what this is about. Pushing a narrative that changes voters' minds. And I think we are a bit early. It's something the UNC has to keep on the front burner, obviously. But we would have our say in due course.
We see that the UNC is having an internal election on June 15th for their NATEX, not for the political leader of the party. When is the DPP scheduled to have an internal election?
We are having our first National Assembly in the month of June. As you know, we are still a new party, still formulating, and at that meeting, we will be selecting our first executive. So that our National Assembly will be in the month of June. I remember the date, but it's early June, and from there we will be fully constituted, and we'll see what happens there. I think our constitution also 2 years thereafter.
So we expect it will constitute, and then there will be, I guess, the
It will
management.
be at that same meeting, I think. At that
Right.
same meeting, that full executive will be elected.
Okay. And then from there, they got 2 years before there is the first actual internal election.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Someone just said the speaker cannot lay the report, only the finance minister. I don't know.
That's not how I read the law, but I'm not a lawyer. But that's not how I read the law. The fact is that the PNM is going to use all that it can to ensure that the report is not made public. And the voters in Trinidad must ask themselves why. It seems to me that every supposed independent statutory body in Trinidad, PNM has attempted and is attempting to control. Every single one.
Every one compromised and totally compromised. I agree with that.
Every single one. And
yes,
the people, the voters in Trinidad, again, people have to come to terms with how their politicians treat with them. And I get the feeling that no matter what PNM does, vast numbers of Trinidad will vote for them, no matter what they do. And no matter if they don't use the resources to the benefit of the same people, the people will still vote for them because they have been successful over decades in dividing the country to divide and rule. And that may be true of the UNC in some aspects as well. Both sides, both group of supporters seem unwilling to support a third party. And so Trinidad is stuck with these two supposedly racially divided parties struggling for dominance. And we might be doomed to have, governments that are one seat majority from this point on because of this racial politics and this racial divide. And that is certainly not good for Trinidad, it's not good for Tobago, it's not good for the politics and the development of the country and the development of both islands. So, your representative can do whatever he wants, assured that he will get your vote. And therefore that is that is a situation made for disaster.
No, Mr. James, I from time to time made mention of the fact that I see the opposition as a weak unit because they really show from time to time that they don't have the gall to stand up to some issues that are dire. Now, we are looking at, after the next election, Tobago being the queen or kingmaker. It would require that some serious demands be made and some new initiatives be introduced into the politics if Tobago is to get what it's supposed to get after the next general election. Because, like I said, it's going to be the king or queen maker, the TPP. That's what it seems to be at this particular point. What say ye?
Well, I mean, we sit back and we analyze anecdotal data that's before us. That's a distinct possibility that we can win the 2 seats, that the election will be close in Trinidad, and therefore we would be the swing vote supposedly in the parliament. That is, if that is the case, then we have an advantage of being able to negotiate. My own view is that we've been down this road before. And what we have, so if that's the case, and we can come to an accommodation with the UNC or with the PNM, how does that work in our best interest? There is still a need to change the constitution. That still requires a 2/5 majority. That requires 26, 27 votes. And I don't think if we will have that, so surely we could make one of the leaders of the party in Trinidad prime minister, or we can negotiate for one of our members to be prime minister. Let's do a real St. Vincent, Ralph Gonzalez thing. That we can do, but we won't have the authority to change the laws, which is what we want. There is a need, and I keep saying this, there is a need to have constitutional coverage that allows Trinidad and Tobago to separate it. This is the only mature thing. I don't know what is the fear of that. Why that is not in the constitution. There is a need for a referendum clause to be in the constitution. That is only the only mature right thing to do. Can we get that with 21 or 22 seats? No. And so in terms of Tobago, yeah, we could negotiate with somebody, and we could make somebody prime minister, make ourselves prime minister, and but we don't get to change the law. We can, I suppose, influence the budgetary allocation, and for some people that might be satisfactory enough. But our struggle in Tobago has been about self-determination. And while we might negotiate and say, okay, we would get a higher percentage this year other than the low 4.03, that doesn't change the law. That gives us maybe a higher budget for 3 or 4 or 5 years, maybe. So, I mean, yeah, there may be benefits to that, but in my view, there is a bigger conversation, in the national space that ensures that we be treated as equals. I mean, you could imagine St. Kitts Nevis has a clause for them to separate. What is the problem with these parliamentarians in Trinidad who just seem to forever want to prevent that from happening? It's just fair. For those of us who've been married, every marriage has a clause, gives each party the right for redress through the courts, through a divorce. It's as simple as that. I don't see the challenge, and this is not about me being secessionist or wanting to break up the country. This is ensuring that if there are disputes that arise, that there's a real chance that the dispute could be corrected to the mutual benefit of both sides. As we stand, we have a DRC now, where the 3-member DRC by law, one appointed by the Prime Minister, one appointed by the President, and one appointed by the Chief Sec. How is that going to work in Tobago favor? It just can't. It just happens so that under Hochoy time, the Prime Minister was Tobagonian. And so essentially we got a DRC that was in our favor because we had 2 Tobago voices in the committee as part of the committee. That is not going to happen now. So there are all of these things that are in the mix when people vote. And so yes, we will win the 2 seats. We will see how it goes in Port of Spain, and we will negotiate before, after, whenever, for the best arrangement for Tobago in the circumstances that we find ourselves in.
And Trevor, here is the last two for me, right? And I think these two are easy ones. Is the TPP going to just concentrate on Tobago, and in the upcoming general election, there will be no candidates from the TPP in that general election?
In Trinidad?
Yeah, in Trinidad.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, the executive has not yet been voted in. That will be, I guess, a question that the executive will have to pronounce on. So that's a question to be asked of the chairman down the road. That's a question that a little premature now. That's a question that a little premature now.
All right.
The name TPP locks the unit into Tobago.
No.
Tobago People's
A party that originates in Tobago doesn't necessarily mean that you campaign only in Tobago. It means that you're for the betterment of Tobago.
Would it mean that you want to be called TTPP?
No. Understand how the country is. The decisions are made in the cabinet as part of the parliament, and decisions are made by the parliament. And so we have all known that we have to negotiate in the parliament if we are given the laws that we have. I always say they are colonial slave master laws, but given the laws that we have, the laws are changed in the parliament, and at some point it might be necessary for the TPP to contest seats in Trinidad. But that certainly is not a question for us now. Our focus is on Tobago. We are a Tobago party, position ourselves as a Tobago party. And for now, the question is again too early.
And lastly, is it a possibility we can see Chief Fally running for one of the seats, Tobago East or Tobago West?
I guess in the realm of possibilities, that is a possibility. In the realm of possibility is a possibility. So the answer clearly, there's a possibility of anything happening. I don't know if that's the best decision, though. I don't know if that sends the right signal. But either decision that the executive, when it is duly constituted, will deliberate on, and a decision will be made as to who the candidates will be and the quality of the candidates we would put forward. Because no doubt, we need two strong candidates to carry the fight in the parliament, and those candidates will be screened and selected and so on. But we need candidates who can carry the fight, who can speak the autonomy talk, who are astute and statesmanlike, and who can be prime minister if it comes to that. So we'll see how it goes. But that's a question again. Anslem, why you ask me these kind of questions? That's not for me to answer.
And wait, listen. All right, 1 more minute before you go. 1 more minute before you go. Do you believe you will see anyone contesting Mr. Fally Chavez Augustine for the political leader of the TPP?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Okay. So there we have it. So, Trevor, it's always a pleasure. We want to thank you so much for taking the time. We respect your time. And we want to thank you so much for joining us. And any closing words before you go?
I just want to encourage Tobagonians, Trinidadians, Trinbagonians, those who live within the and to to begin to think maturely about this relationship that we have. Um, it just cannot be, it's not sustainable for Tobagonians to be managed under the current laws and Tobago as a whole to be managed under the current laws. It's just not right that um, some group in Trinidad can decide that they must control the resources in our waters um, to the benefit of one group. It can't be right that the Ministry of Works will get $2.5 billion in development funds, and the THA gets, and the Ministry of Infrastructure gets $70 million, or in the last budget, $50 million. It can't be right. It can't be right that statutory bodies operate in Trinidad and pronounce on issues in Tobago exclusive to the exclusion of the THA. Those things can't be right. It can't be right that some public servant in Trinidad has to give a license to a fisherman to get a license in Tobago. Those things can't be right. you know, and I could go on and on and on and on and on with all the things that are wrong about the relationship. And the time has come. We've been at this thing 47 years now since Robinson took that bill to Parliament in 77 December, I think. 47, 48 years now, struggling, going to the Parliament every few years to get the Parliament to change, and the Parliament saying to us, no, surely that is not working. That has not worked in our favor. It is not working, and it's not going to work in the future. We have to come up with a different mechanism if we are to prosecute this thing, and you know, it will take the hands of every Tobagoan, every person of Tobago heritage to come on board to change this. No longer can our diaspora sit by and allow for this to happen. It's just unrighteous.
Thank you, Mr. James. You've done a great job.
Thank you so much for taking it. Yeah, go ahead.
No worries, man. Anytime, yeah.
You did a great
All the
job.
best. Yeah, man. All the best. Yeah, I do try.
Same to you, and a happy mother to your spouse.
Yes, man. Same to you guys.
Thanks.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, good.
Bye-bye. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Next we go get Farley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tommy, let's go for the break, folks. If you're still with us, put closing comments in the chat. Let me just read this real quick. Darren says, the way I see it, it will seek the best interests of Tobago. Tobago will have a choice to make. Nina Judy says, I find TPP should run into Bay in Trinidad too. It will be most welcome indeed. Trinidad needs profound changes and onwards. TNT needs strong patriotic leaders. Folks, we're going to go for a quick station identification. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after this. Stick on stage.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Tommy, I wanted to say something. You see this shirt I have on here?
Yes.
This shirt is, let me put on my headphones. This shirt is a shirt my son wear when he played for his college, 4 years of college soccer. And the shirt fitting me today. Imagine that.
Wow.
That's from like 2012, sometime around there. And, you know, he just brought these T-shirts to me. And this is one of his shirts where, you know, he went to Drexel University. on a soccer scholarship. But all these skills he knew, he came from me. You know?
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's appropriate for him to give it to you.
Yeah, he gave me yesterday. He said, "Dad, hold that." I said, "Wait now, boy." I said, "But I still flexing, Tommy, boy."
Yeah, you're
You
looking
know?
great with it.
Yeah, I
Nice.
mean, yeah, with the the logo there, right?
Nike.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if that no number on the back. No, they didn't say no number on the back.
No number.
But I know he was number 7 or number 11, whatever it is. Yeah, but and I get a few shirts. I was very happy about that.
Nice.
I could,
Very nice.
I think that was an excellent interview. We got a lot of information out of it. We asked some probing questions.
Yeah, we drill down.
We drill down. we drill we drill deep down into
Sideways
it.
and all.
we, we even do some sideways drilling too. Yeah, Richie. Richie and Capitan, we did some sideways drilling. You understand? Yeah, we did some sideways drilling. And I mean, that's what we like when people come in here to me is that, you know, we nicely ask the tough questions.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, nicely. You know what I mean? And you can know when we ask certain questions, Tommy, you could see the expression from the laugh, something, right? You could see,
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you know, when the questions to them. But the nice thing about it, Tommy, is that I am sure when people come in here, even though we ask them tough questions, it's very respectful. It's
That's
not,
right.
it's just a discussion. It's a dialogue, back and forth.
In a professional manner.
In a very professional manner, and that's what it's all about. And we are gonna continue like that. And we see the UNC gonna have an internal election. Of course, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to see if we get Mrs. Kamla Prasad Besessa. I sent her a message, for her to come, I sent her a message. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, my closing comment is this. Capitan say, give Tobago independence with a visa requirement to travel to Trinidad. Capitan, you too bright, Enforce
The whole Caribbean don't need a visa.
immigration.
I said the whole Caribbean
Correct is right.
have CARICOM.
Capitan, you shouldn't need no visa to character for travel when you should just be able to go any one of them islands in the Caribbean with your passport. Right? You agree with that?
Hope he does.
No. Do you agree that you should supposed to be able to go anywhere in the Caribbean with your passport?
I do agree.
There we go. My closing comment is family is not about blood. It's about who's willing to hold your hand when you need it the most. Family is not about blood. It's about who's willing to hold your hand when you need it most. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall, so that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. I'd like to thank Trevor James again for joining us, and we look forward to many more. Go ahead, Tommy.
The world always seems brighter when you just made something that wasn't there before. Like I say, the world always seems brighter when you've just made something that wasn't there before. Like I always say, you the man in the mirror. Become that change that you need to see. However, if you look in that mirror and you don't like what you see, do not blame the mirror. I always say, never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Remember, love is the key to life. Love you all. To the mothers again, enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day, and may you be happy as a mother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tommy. And let me read the last comment here. What is the population of Tobago? 70,000. James said they were bargain with PNM and UNC for a better deal. 70,000 people holding Trinidad to ransom. Yeah, all right. Tell me, what's our mother's this song we could go out with, boy? Sparrow?
Yeah. When your mother was alive.
Yeah. Sparrow, Mother's Day. Mother's Love, right?
Yes.
Let me see if we get out. Here we go. Sparrow, Mother's Love. Hold up, eh? We go to that one tonight. So, folks, it's a pleasure being with us today. We're gonna go out with Sparrow's song, Mother's Love. Stick and stay. We out of here. Later. We're gonna go out with Sparrow's Mother's Day song, Mother's Love. Let's go. There we go. Okay, we out of here. Bye-bye.
In this place, certain men should hide their face. The way they treat them mothers are disgrace. In this place, certain men should hide their face. The way they treat them mothers are disgrace. Neglect the old lady for donkey years when she dead. They shedding crocodile tears and spending money like hell to buy a casket big like Hilton Hotel. But when their mother was alive, they didn't know she dead. It's nightclubs and brothels, the money used to spend. They used to carry on, but now that she is gone, them hypocrites just weep and mourn. Well, if you are lucky and still have your mommy, remember what Sparrow said. Forget them jagabats and all them Jezebel and make sure your mommy okay. So indiscreet, some of them drunk in the street, and mama have nothing to eat. Buying company, every day they in a spree, and their mommy belly empty. I know a man one night joined the wife to cuss his mother. 2 weeks later he end up in career. When she dead, he start to moan and shout. I wish the dead could have wake up and bust it down out. When his mother was in need, he didn't pay her heed, and she had to eat the bread the devil need. It was so unfair, I mean a postcard once a year to pretend you're so sincere. No, she don't need a lot, just give her what you got, whether you're rich or you're poor, I say. Only on a birthday should not be the way, every day should be Mother's Day. Neglect your mommy so don't leave her in tears and sorrow. Don't forget that you owe her the respect that all good mothers should get.
You got to make it a point of duty. Try and see that she's always happy, not like those who just pay the bill, only to make sure that their name come out in the will. You drove her out of mind, you treated her unkind. How could you be so blind to leave mama to pine? The pain she had to bear to bring you safely here, and now you don't really care. You treated her crude, and for your ingratitude, someday you will have to pay. Because retribution meets every man who treats his mommy that way. My friend, tell me, why do you pretend to remember your mother then? Why do you mourn when she's buried all alone and no longer can she return? The Lord above will take care of her up there, but your obligation lies right here. It's unkind to leave her undone. Don't be a blasted, ungrateful son. Now after all is said and done, I'm warning every son. Give your mama your love and affection. Try to understand, she did the best she can. Now give her a helping hand. No, you cannot repay even until your dying day, though you may only start and move about. You'll be a very lucky fella if you still have the treasure as the wealth of a mother's love.